in the morning.
Welcome back to our channel, your ultimate destination for all the latest Genoa City updates. Today is a truly beautiful day to dive into the scandalous, heartbreaking, and utterly thrilling drama unfolding on your favorite daytime soap. We have a massive, explosive update for you today, so grab your coffee, settle into your favorite spot, and let us get straight into the shocking details that will change everything. The landscape of Genoa City is forever shifting, but the latest developments surrounding the Newman family and their inner circle are about to trigger an unprecedented earthquake. At the center of this brewing storm is Nate Hastings, a man who has spent the last few years navigating the treacherous waters of corporate espionage and fractured family dynamics. Nate's journey from a brilliant, life-saving surgeon to a ruthless corporate shark has been fraught with moral compromises and deep regrets. However, the universe has a funny way of pulling people back to their true calling. Dr. Stephanie Simmons, a respected medical professional with deep historical ties to the Winters family, is about to present Nate with an opportunity that could alter the trajectory of his life forever. Stephanie is spearheading a highly confidential, groundbreaking, special medical project, and she firmly believes that Nate is the only person uniquely suited to help her bring it to fruition. This unexpected offer acts as a powerful catalyst, forcing Nate to confront the ghosts of his past and seriously reconsider a return to the medical field he once loved so dearly. For Nate, the allure of medicine has never truly faded, even after his surgical career was tragically derailed by a violent physical altercation with his cousin, Devin Winters, which left him with severe nerve damage. The corporate world of Newman Enterprises and Chancellor Winters offered him power and prestige, but it never provided the profound, soul-healing satisfaction of saving a human life. Stephanie's proposition arrives at the exact moment Nate is questioning his legacy and his purpose. He is standing at a monumental crossroads, torn between the boardroom's cutthroat politics and the hospital's life and death stakes. Little does Nate know, his medical expertise is about to be called upon in a much more immediate, secretive, and highly dangerous capacity, one that will test his ethical boundaries and plunge him directly into the darkest, most closely guarded secrets of the powerful Newman family. While Nate wrestles with Stephanie's intriguing career proposition, a far more desperate and immediate crisis is quietly unfolding behind the gilded gates of the Newman estate. Victoria Newman, the formidable and often ruthless CEO of Newman Enterprises, is privately buckling under an unimaginable weight. For weeks, Victoria has been hyper-vigilant, watching with growing terror as her mother, Nikki Newman, suffers from an alarming deterioration in her health. Nikki has been plagued by excruciating, blinding headaches, sudden bouts of dizziness, and terrifying moments of blurred vision. Publicly, Nikki has stubbornly brushed off these frightening symptoms as nothing more than a severe flare-up of her long-standing multiple sclerosis. But Victoria's razor-sharp instincts tell her a much darker story. Driven by a desperate, protective love for her mother, Victoria makes a covert decision that will set a catastrophic chain of events into motion. She secretly reaches out to Nate Hastings, bypassing the official Newman medical team, to beg him for a clandestine second opinion. The tension in the air is palpable as Victoria orchestrates a highly secretive, off-the-books medical consultation between Nikki and Nate. Victoria knows that involving Nate is a massive risk, but her profound trust in his medical brilliance and their complex past romantic history makes him the only person she can turn to in this desperate hour. Nikki, initially furious and deeply resistant to this behind-the-scenes maneuvering, reluctantly agrees to let Nate review her recent medical files and conduct a thorough, independent examination. In the quiet, sterile environment of the examination room, away from the prying eyes of the public and, most importantly, away from Victor Newman's overbearing surveillance, Nate begins to piece together the terrifying puzzle of Nikki's failing health. As Nate meticulously analyzes the latest MRI scans and cross-references them with Nikki's escalating physical symptoms, a cold, sickening dread washes over him. Here, is where the storyline takes a breathtaking, horrifying twist that will leave viewers entirely speechless. As Nate stares at the illuminated medical scans, the devastating truth becomes chillingly clear. Nikki's agonizing symptoms are not the result of a routine multiple sclerosis relapse. Nate discovers a catastrophic misdiagnosis from her previous doctors. Hidden deep within the imaging is a fast-growing, highly aggressive, malignant brain tumor. This lethal mass is actively expanding, pressing dangerously against Nikki's optic nerve, which explains the agonizing headaches and the terrifying loss of vision. If left untreated, the tumor will not only cause permanent, irreversible blindness, but it will ultimately claim Nikki's life. The sheer gravity of this terminal diagnosis hits the room like a physical shockwave, instantly shattering the fragile illusion of control that Nikki and Victoria have been desperately clinging to. The emotional confrontation that follows this apocalyptic revelation is nothing short of gut-wrenching. Nikki Newman, a woman who has survived alcoholism, kidnapping, and decades of vicious corporate warfare, is brought to her knees by the sheer terror of her own mortality. As the reality of the malignant brain tumor sinks in, Nikki makes a desperate, shocking demand that completely paralyzes Nate. With tears streaming down her face and her voice trembling with raw panic, Nikki begs Nate to keep her terminal diagnosis an absolute secret from her husband, Victor Newman. She refuses to let Victor know the truth, terrified that he will view her with pity, suffocate her with his overbearing control, or weaponize her vulnerability in his ongoing family wars. Nikki insists that she must process this nightmare on her own terms, without Victor's heavy-handed interference dictating her every move and medical decision. This agonizing plea places Nate Hastings in the most excruciating ethical dilemma of his entire professional career. As a licensed medical doctor, Nate is bound by a strict code of ethics and a profound duty of care to his patient. He knows that keeping a life-threatening, fast-growing brain tumor a secret from a patient's spouse is not only a massive violation of medical protocol, but also incredibly dangerous for Nikki's overall well-being. However, Nate is also deeply entangled in the complex, toxic web of Newman family loyalty. His past relationship with Victoria and his deep respect for Nikki pull him in the opposite direction. He is caught in a terrifying tug-of-war between his solemn medical oath and the desperate, tearful begging of a woman he considers family. If Nate agrees to this conspiracy of silence, he becomes fully complicit in a massive, dangerous lie that could destroy his medical license and his life. Victoria Newman, witnessing her mother's profound emotional collapse, makes the heartbreaking decision to fully support Nikki's demand for secrecy. Victoria understands better than anyone the suffocating, dictatorial nature of Victor Newman's love. She knows that if Victor learns his wife is dying, he will completely take over, disregarding Nikki's autonomy and turning her medical crisis into a high-stakes Newman Enterprises operation. However, Victoria's unwavering support for her mother's silence comes at a catastrophic personal cost. Victoria is secretly battling her own terrifying medical crisis, early-stage heart failure brought on by the immense, chronic stress of running the family empire and managing her family's endless scandals. The crushing psychological burden of hiding her mother's terminal brain tumor while her own heart physically fails her is pushing Victoria to the absolute brink of a total systemic collapse. Just when you think the tension cannot possibly escalate any further, a massive, ticking time bomb is introduced into the narrative. Victor Newman, the legendary, ruthless patriarch of the family, is not a man who can be easily deceived. Victor possesses predatory instincts that have allowed him to crush his enemies for decades, and those very same instincts are now screaming that something is terribly wrong within his own home. Victor begins to notice the subtle, chilling changes in his family's behavior. He observes Victoria's extreme hypervigilance, her sudden, unexplained absences from Newman Enterprises, and the dark, exhausted circles under her eyes. More importantly, Victor senses a profound, terrifying distance from his beloved wife, Nikki. He watches as she winces in hidden pain, stumbles during public events, and locks herself away in the ranch. Victor's suspicions are officially ignited, and the conspiracy of silence is in grave danger of being violently exposed. The threat of Victor Newman discovering this monumental deception casts a long, terrifying shadow over Genoa City. If Victor uncovers the truth that Nate Hastings, a man he already views with a healthy dose of suspicion, discovered Nikki's terminal brain tumor and deliberately chose to hide it from him, the retaliation will be biblical. Victor views any deception regarding his family's safety as an unforgivable act of treason. Nate is acutely aware that he is playing a deadly game of Russian roulette with the most powerful, vindictive man in town. The ethical burden on Nate's shoulders grows heavier with each passing day as he must secretly monitor Nikki's rapidly deteriorating condition, desperately researching experimental treatments and high-risk surgical options, all while looking Victor in the eye and lying through his teeth. The psychological toll on the brilliant doctor is immense, pushing him to the edge of his own sanity. Meanwhile, the profound isolation Nikki experiences as she battles this invisible monster is truly heartbreaking. Behind the closed doors of the sprawling Newman Ranch, Nikki is entirely alone with her darkest fears. The tumor pressing against her optic nerve is causing increasingly frequent episodes of terrifying blindness, plunging her into a world of disorienting darkness. In one particularly harrowing scene, Nikki attempts to navigate her own living room, only to be struck by a blinding wave of agony that sends her collapsing to the floor. Lying there helpless, unable to call out for Victor, out of fear of exposing her secret, Nikki is forced to confront the horrifying reality that her time is rapidly running out. The grand, luxurious estate becomes a terrifying prison, amplifying her profound sense of loneliness and her desperate, clinging desire to survive on her own terms. As the days turn into weeks, Nate realizes that the situation is rapidly becoming completely untenable. Nikki's malignant tumor is growing at an alarming, aggressive rate, and the window for any viable medical intervention is violently slamming shut. Nate knows that he must push Nikki to make an impossible, life-altering choice. The only potential path to survival is a highly complex, incredibly dangerous neurological surgery to attempt to remove the mass. However, the surgery itself carries catastrophic risks, including the very real possibility of permanent, irreversible blindness or even death on the operating table. Nate is forced to sit down with Nikki and Victoria to deliver this grim, terrifying ultimatum. The time for hiding and denial is officially over. Nikki must choose between a guaranteed, painful death or a surgical gamble that could strip her of her sight forever. As the final pieces of this tragic puzzle fall into place, the audience is left breathless, wondering who will survive the impending emotional explosion. Will Nate Hastings fall?